Hello everyone, Lisa here, aka Crafting Diva. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. And today I've popped on to share my project for Handmade by Shirley for her hashtag Tag Tuesday. This is a fantastic little challenge that is being run by Shirley from Handmade by Shirley here on YouTube. She's got the hashtag Tag Tuesday, and it's a fun little challenge that Shirley has set up. So if you've not seen this before, I'll link Shirley's channel in the description box below if you'd like to go and check out her channel. It'll give you all the details of her little challenge, and I will also link my playlist in the description box below if you'd like to go and check out some of my previous tags that I've made, as it might give you more of an idea what this little challenge is about. It's a challenge Shirley runs through the month, and she gives us different prompts every Tuesday to come on and make a little tag with you and share what we make for her little prompt. So this is Tuesday's prompt, which was subtle colours. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm uploading my project today, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to make my project on camera for you all today, as I'm going to be using some of my new products that I've just recently shared with you in a craft haul video that I uploaded earlier. So I'll link that in the description box below as well if you'd like a better look at some of the items that I've just treated myself to. But I thought this be a fantastic opportunity to have a play with some of my new items and share with you my tag that I'm going to make for hashtag Tag Tuesday Subtle Colours. So without further ado, let's get cracking at making my tag. So first of all, I'm going to use my Lisa Horton Crafts little stamping multi-platform. I thought I'd show you quickly how I stamp my images with this little platform, just in case you've never used a stamping platform before. They're super easy to use. They're just sort of like a door hinge element to them, and it makes your stamping so much easier. If you are new to stamping, it just gives you that reassurance that you can re-stamp your image if you're not sure you've got a clear enough image the first time. Because this is a magnet stamping platform, it will hold your cardstock in place so that you can multi-stamp your image, so you know you're going to get a perfect image every time. So I'm going to use some of these super cute little images from Tracy Hay that I shared with you in my recent craft haul video. So I've picked one of the cute little elephants, so I'm going to place him on my piece of stamping cardstock. I like to use super smooth white cardstock for my stamping on, because if you are a follower of my channel, you know I love to colour with my alcohol pens. So I've put my stamp face down, and I've pushed down on the little door of the platform to make that stamp stick to the little door. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to ink my image up of my stamp with some Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let me just ink my stamp up like so, and then we're just going to come back, open the little door, and then push it over, and then push down on our stamp like so. So let's just give that a bit of pressure to make sure we get a nice image, and then we're going to open the, oh, we need to push down. I think my magnet might be slightly, oh no, perfect. So as you can see, we get a perfect image. If I want that a little bit darker, I can go on, add a bit more ink to my stamp, and then re-stamp my little elephant. Just push down a little bit harder this time near the top of the image. Sometimes you have to be a little bit wary of where you are placing your magnets. Also, you do get the stamping mat with this platform, so maybe it might have been slightly better if I'd put that in, but I thought we'd get away with just using the silicone mat. But as you can see, we've got a perfect little image of our super cute little elephant. So what I did earlier is stamp that, coloured my little image with my Copic pens, and cut him out so he's ready to go on our tag. So let's get going at making our tag. I'm just going to bring in a piece of scrap copier paper just so that when I'm doing my ink blending on my little silicone mat, that I don't make my mat all messy. So I've got my white tag here that I've pre-cut out. This is the size tag that I've been making, and then we want to put some of our magnets on our little tag to hold that in place. And then I'm going to use my heart stencil that again is from Tracy Hay that I showed you in my recent craft haul video, and actually I'm going to place that onto my tag where I'd like the design to go. I want it so it's going across my tag, and then I'm going to use my magnets to hold the stencil, the tag, and a bit of my copier paper into place so nothing moves. And then I'm going to use some distress inks to ink through my little stencil, and because we need to do subtle colours, I'm going to try not to put too much ink so our colours are nice and subtle. So I'm going to use squeezed lemonade, saltwater taffy, and salvage patina. And then I'm going to use some of the Tim Holtz little blending tools to ink through my stencil. So first of all, I'm going to use some squeezed lemonade, and if you have this ink pad yourself, you will know this is quite a vibrant colour. So I'm only going to lightly press on my ink pad with my blending tool, and then I'm going to come onto my mat, and then I'm going to start inking that ink through my stencil. So I'm just going to use the ink that I've got on my little blending sponge. I'm not going to re-ink because, like I say, we want this quite subtle colours. So I think that'll do for our yellow. So let's put the lid on that, and then I'm going to bring in my saltwater taffy distress ink, and again I'm going to take a little bit of ink from my ink pad, but I don't want to try and add too much ink because we do want those colours quite nice and subtle. So let's just go through adding that ink through our lovely stencil. And as you can see, the ink goes through this stencil so lovely. So we do our pink, and we start adding a bit of pink into our yellow so that it starts to blend a little bit to give it a bit of texture. Okay, I think that'll do for that. Put our lid on that, and then we're going to bring in our salvage patina colour. And again, this is quite a vibrant blue, so I'm only going to press lightly onto my ink pad to start with. And again, we can start blending that in with the pink colour, like so. As you can see, we're getting quite a nice soft colour tone to our blending, so I think we're nearly there. I think we'll just take a little bit more of our yellow, and I think that will do for our stenciled background. So I'm going to remove our little magnets and lift up my stencil, and as you can see, we've got a beautiful heart stenciled background. Then what I want to do is put my little elephant on and stamp a sentiment. So I think for our sentiment we will use Every Moment Matters. So let's get that off our sheet. I think I'll just use a acrylic block to stamp my message this time, just for speed, and I'm going to use some VersaFine Oxide black ink for stamping my message, because this is perfect for a really detailed stamp. So let's find where I've put my little elephant, and I think I'm going to have my little elephant, I think we'll have him down in this corner. So I think we'll stamp our message about here. Every moment matters. So we will stamp that there, like so. Beautiful stamp message. And then we're going to use some 3D foam on the back of our elephant to stick him onto our tag. So let's just add a little bit of foam to the back of our little elephant. Take the back off, like so. And I think we'll give him a little shape by pushing the card around. I think we're going to stick him roughly about there. And then to make an extra little embellishment for my tag, I've used one of these Cuttlebug mini folders that makes a little heart embellishment. So I just embossed that on a piece of white cardstock, and then I've just gone on and inked that little embellishment with the same ink pads just to tie it all together. And I think again we're going to add a bit of 3D foam to the back of that heart, just to give that a bit of dimension as well. And we're going to stick that just above our sentiment, I think, like so. And then just to tie this whole design together, I'm going to go back and take some of my ink from my little sponges and just get a little bit more of our blue colour on my sponge, and I'm just going to ink round the edge of my tag as lightly as I can. So there's a bit of blue. Let's take a bit of our salt water taffy, and then we'll add a bit of our pinky colour just round the edge like so. We want this as nice subtle colours as we can possibly get a bit of our squeezed lemonade. See, we have to be a bit careful with that one because that is a really vibrant colour. We'll have a little bit more of our saltwater taffy. We'll start blending a bit of that colour together going around that corner, and then a little bit more of our blue. And I think that might do for our tag because we want quite a nice simple design. We don't want nothing too bold or bright. So I'm going to try and abstain from adding any black pen to my tag, because if you know me, you know I love to add a bit of black pen. But I think that's going to be our tag for today's Tag Tuesday Subtle Colours. Really nice stencil background, stamped image of the super cute little elephant, and just adding the little With Love embossed embellishment just to add a bit more detail to my tag. So that's going to be my design for hashtag Tag Tuesday Subtle Colours. Hope you enjoyed watching me put my little tag design. Really simple to make, but makes quite a nice striking design. So if you did need to make quite a few of these for little gift tags for gift bags, it'd be super easy and quick to do. So I'd love to read any of your comments. Let me know, have you brought any of the Tracy Hay products before? Are you really into doing your stenciling backgrounds? If you've got any tips for me, let me know. I'd love to read any of your comments, so feel free to leave them in the comments box below. I try to reply to every comment I receive. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you're new, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.